Your moderators for tonight's debate, Barry Irwin and Karen LeBlanc.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Karen LeBlanc, anchor and reporter for Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Thank you for joining us tonight for this important debate with the major candidates vying to become the next governor of Louisiana. And we thank our public broadcasting partners statewide for also sharing this evening's program with their viewers and their listeners.
And I'm Barry Irwin, the president of the Council for a Better Louisiana.
We've also asked a panel of top journalists to join this important conversation. They are Kara St. Cyr, my colleague and co-anchor of Louisiana, the state we're in. And now it's time to begin. The first question will come from LPB's Kara St. Cyr, who will pose it to Mr. Wagaspack. Now, candidates, we will move from left to right.
In the coast, read the Coastal Restoration Report.
And with all due respect, we're going to move forward with our questions. With all due respect, thank you. We're going to shift now to another hot topic in Louisiana: the growing crime rate. Now, here's what one student shared about her feelings on public safety. We thank all of you for taking part in this important conversation tonight. Thank you to our panel of accomplished journalists for their questions, and a special thanks to the college students who shared their thoughts on how we can move Louisiana forward as a state. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Louisiana Spotlight. I'm Karen LeBlanc, anchor and reporter here at LPB. People across Louisiana have already begun casting their votes for the individual they believe should lead our state as governor for the next 4 years. This election comes at one of the most pivotal moments in Louisiana's long history. The challenges facing our state today are immense. We're grappling with a dwindling population, natural disasters caused by climate change, skyrocketing insurance rates, and growing concerns about public safety. So who is the best candidate to navigate these issues and lead our state forward? Tonight, we will delve deeper into these challenges and focus on the candidates charged with addressing them. I'll be speaking with experts and local residents to explore their vision for the way forward. But before we do that, let's hear from some young Louisiana voters on what this election means to them and what they hope to see from the next governor. So again, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Dr. Procopio and Mr. Irwin, before we kind of dive into the details, I want to hear more about Reset Louisiana, the initiative that both of your organizations co-authored, and explain why it's important that voters are aware of this.
We have a major election coming.
Clearly, we know job opportunities are a big draw, what we've been calling brain drain. But I was also hearing that inclusivity was a factor, that some students were not really happy with the direction of our social policies and some social engineering that's kind of happening. Are you hearing that as well?
Absolutely.
So let's move on to the dynamics of this gubernatorial election. We have a candidate, a front runner, Jeff Landry, who has been noticeably absent at most of the public forums and televised debates. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on how the race has unfolded. Do you think that this will have any ramifications in future gubernatorial elections?
Well, I don't know. It's.
So, Dr. Samuels, you mentioned earlier that education seems to be the place they go to cut with the cries of an impending fiscal cliff. Are you concerned about that? And I want to hear your thoughts on what the state needs to do to stabilize so that education isn't affected.
Well,
if you'd like to learn more about the candidates and the issues, you can find our full interviews as well as the full debate at lpb.org. Programs, The Way Forward Election 2023. I want to thank Dr. Samuels, Dr. Procopio, and Mr. Irwin for sharing their knowledge on these very important issues. So what do you, our viewers, think? We encourage you to comment on tonight's show by visiting lpb.org/Louisiana Spotlight and clicking on the, quote, Join the Conversation link. We'd love to hear from you, and thank you all for watching. Good night. Hello everyone, I'm Karen LeBlanc.
And I'm Kara St. Cyr.
Louisiana continues to broil with temperatures exceeding 100 degrees and a record-setting heat wave. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards has declared a state of emergency through September 9th. It follows a statewide burn ban issued by the Louisiana Fire Marshal.
Karen, you have some insight into some of the issues that we just talked about.
That's right, Kara. So I sat down one-on-one with the gubernatorial candidates for a little coffee chat. It's an informal way for viewers to get to know their candidates running for governor.
That definitely sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so today is actually the debut of Coffee with the Candidates, LPB's exclusive series featuring one-on-one interviews with each of the top Louisiana gubernatorial contenders. Learn where the candidates stand on issues important to voters as each joins me for our coffee chat at Frank's Restaurant. Coffee with the Candidates is part of The Way Forward Election 2023, LPB's special gubernatorial election coverage leading up to LPB's September 28th televised statewide debate. In this episode, I sit down with Sharon Hewitt, a state senator and Republican running for governor. Hello everyone, I'm Karen LeBlanc.
And I'm Kara St. Cyr. According to new budget forecasts, incoming governor-elect Jeff Landry will inherit millions of dollars in surplus once he takes office in January.
The $330 million surplus will be divided between the rainy day fund, retirement debt, and one-time projects like coastal restoration. Lawmakers will decide how to spend the rest during Landry's first legislative session in the spring.
This is good news for the state as lawmakers are anticipating a $700 million gap in the state budget. The surplus may help give them a cushion.
We'll have much more on those top stories in a moment, but first, on this week's edition of Louisiana, the state we're in, here are some headlines making news across the state. To get a sense of the aftermath of the wildfires, I'm traveling to Vernon Parish, to the point of origin of the Ida wildfire, which broke out on August 24th in the Kisatchie National Forest. As we approach the Kisatchie National Forest, what is normally verdant green scenery is charred and blackened from the forest floor to the treetops.
Hi, Karen.
Hey, Lisa. Thank you for having me
Oh,
here.
absolutely. So glad that you're able to join us.
So, Lisa, this wildfire in the National Forest started with a trash burn.
That's correct, Karen. Actually, the point of origin is just right past what is left of this trailer. A gentleman was out burning some debris during the statewide burn ban. Some winds kicked up, and he quickly lost control, burnt down his neighbor's house, and about 6 outbuildings that were associated with it here.
So what was the total impact of this fire? How much devastation did it cause in total before it was contained?
Well, it's still not totally contained. We're still...
When fighting wildfires on this scale, there is way more than meets the eye. So I traveled to DeRidder to take you behind the scenes here at the Incident Command Center and show you the coordinated effort that's happening.
So we're building an incident action plan.
All right, Karen, this is tradition. You got to touch this. You can't walk on the Tiger field without touching this.
All right. The year was 1988. Tiger Stadium, the scene of the famous earthquake game. And I'm with the 2 players that made the famous play. Quarterback Tommy Hodson, running back Eddie Fuller. So we're gonna head out to the field and down memory lane. On major game days, Tiger Stadium can pack the stands with more than 100,000 fans. It's a concentration of human energy and enthusiasm. On one fall night in the late 80s, that energy became a powerful force. For everyone at Louisiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Karen LeBlanc.
And I'm Kara St. Cyr.
Until next time, that's the state we're in.